Let's see here what we can see, what's happening.
I'm be looking for the work study.
What?
I'm be looking at the work study. See if I can.
Yeah, see if it is lost. Okay, we're full here.
Oh, yeah, he's in
Let's
this.
see how we go. Okay, folks, this is BTE 210, yes? Okay. I love the first day because this is the day in which you can decide, do you want to be with me for 3 months? I'm going to be here anyways, but you have a choice. I guess we all have a choice for everything, right? I could have it, but I'm going to be here all the time. And this section is a bit unique. I'm Dr. Sarah Rushanek, and I'll talk about it, but I'm exploring new technologies. It's called Business Technologies Information Systems, and in this course, what we're going to do is we're going to try out new technologies and see how they apply, especially to business and other areas. And have you ever heard the term, you're eating your own dog food? Anybody hear that? It's basically when companies develop new software or hardware or something, they say, hey, we have to decide whether it's a good idea or not. We're going to use it. And we'll find out all the problems. So I guarantee you that we will have problems in this semester, but I'm not going to get too excited over it, and we're going to use it as a way to learn. So we'll go over the course syllabus. There's going to be text, there's going to be quizzes from the book, but a good majority of your time will be exploring new technologies. There are other sections in the curriculum, so I'm doing it differently than other sections. If you want to explore that and see how it's working, this is the class for you. If you say, you know what, I like the instructor just to do regular lectures, and I go home and I do regular lectures, this is not for you. But if you want to join me in this excursion, you're welcome to do that. Everybody with me so far? So that's how it's going to be. And the idea here, every time we have class, I expect you to be prepared. You may not have all the answers, but I expect you to be prepared. So in those other classes where they say, even though this is big, right? In all the other classes, I can come and I can sleep and I can slack and so forth. Guess what? This is also not the class. I give everybody 1 day off, meaning that we'll have a symbol here that I won't call on you for one time in the semester. You know, we all have those bad days, but I suggest we not use it today because there'll be worse days, right, ahead. So we'll be doing that as well. And as along with it, I'm exploring new ways to do education. So basically, think about everything's being disrupted. Who's ever used Uber, right? Everybody's kind of, or Lyft or something. Raise your hand if you've ever done that, right? What happened to the taxi business? Anybody ever hear of Medallion? Anybody from New York? Anybody ever been to New York? Raise your hand, right? What did they used to have? They had taxi cabs, and they used to have medallions. What's the price of a taxi medallion now? You think it's going up or down? Down. Why? Right, so basically they're worth less, right? So it's disrupting the way we do it. Anybody ever hear of Airbnb, right? The largest amount of real estate now is Airbnb, right? That it's really disrupting. So one of the things that we'll be also exploring is how do we disrupt education? Think about it. We're all sitting like this. Anybody ever sit like this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, right? You sat just like this, right? Shouldn't it be also changed in the way education's delivered? I think so, and it's going to happen, and things are slow. So I'm trying to explore different ways to do things, and let me see if I can get my laptop here to explore. And one of the things that you'll see when I'm exploring here is what I'm going to try to see if it's a possibility is to see if, let me see, try a possibility to see if I can record live and archive. What's the advantage of that? You can see I have 2 phones here that I'm recording live. I'm recording myself. Why?
You miss a class, you can just watch it.
One, you miss a class, you can watch it live somewhere. I'm thinking, what else? Any other ideas? Just shout out. Any other ideas? No? Miss a class, what else? What is your name?
Evan,
Evan. What do you think?
to let future professors take your teaching style.
That's another idea, right? That they other people can see we can bring people from around the. Where can you? I'm now broadcasting live via what? Any ideas?
YouTube.
YouTube. How many people can view YouTube? 10, 15? How many, Evan? Millions, right? So basically millions could then view this class, and one, it could be possibility that someone could learn from me. Another possibility is what? We can get experts from around the world to participate when they're not able. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing. When they're not able to come, we'll do it. So let me try this. I'm supposed to be mic'd, and I'm not mic'd, and you'll see all the time I'll have issues here. So let's see if I can even get access, and we'll see if we can do something. So you're about to shut down. I say close my tabs. Here there's something called, what is this called? No connection to Team Viewer. Anybody have an idea what Team Viewer is? Raise your hand. Yes, what is your name?
Sam.
Sam? What's Team Viewer, Sam?
It's a program that allows you to view somebody else's computer in a different location.
Okay, so one, he's saying that it allows somebody to set that up. Have you ever used it, Sam?
Yes.
Okay, so Sam is going to be one of our experts in the class right now, right? Later on, what we're going to try to do is what? Is the world just in one place? Think about it. We're all in one physical place. Companies. Do you think companies work in one physical place, Sam?
No.
No. How do they work? They work globally. And what do we need to do is we need to collaborate. So some types, there's software. What we'll be doing is we'll be looking at software as well. So who has a piece of paper? Anyone have actually a physical piece of paper? Anyone? Who has one? You do. What's your name?
Zach.
Zach. So Zach, do me a favor. Zach, make a roll. And in the roll, call it BTE on the very top, 210. Put the columns first, last, email, phone, and then type in WS. WS is work study. And for WS work study, put yes or no. One of the things I'm working with, I'll tell you, is I'm looking for people to help me. In this class beforehand, you can see we're going to use all this technology and to help me in trying to explore other technologies. So if you're interested, and put yourself as number 1, okay? And pass that around. We'll have everybody sign it. Okay? So let's do this. Let's see. And this first day, it's always going to take us a longer period of time. But let's see if we can log in and see what we have to do. Okay? So we'll try to log in. So basically, what I'm going to be doing in this class is looking at different technologies. One, as we said, is like collaboration. Collaboration tools. We'll be looking at ways, how do we document our work? So what's the problem is you go home or you go to the dorm, you go to the library, you do your homework, right? And something didn't work. And then you come back, what? In 2 days? In terms of technology, that's like lifetime, right? So we'll look at ways in which we need to document our work as well. So let me do this. Let me just go to my Gmail account. And let's see here. And let me connect to the Wi-Fi. I'm going to log in as guest. We'll talk about later on whether we want to click the Kane's guest or Kane's access. Right now, I just want to make it quick, and we'll talk about Kane's guest. And it says welcome, right? Once it says welcome, you see here, you see my icon here, right? And if I go to YouTube, everybody see, I'm just going to go to YouTube. Hey, so I need a mic.
There's no one in here?
Not that I saw. Aren't you glad we're back? There's always issues, right? Issues. That's when I have you. You always do such a nice job, and I always have issues, and you'll help me. Okay, so I have in terms here, I'm going to go to Creator Studio, and I'm going to go to, you see here on the side here, it says live streaming. I'm going to go to events.
Let me go try to find
Thank you, I appreciate it.
it. Not next class, I'll have it.
Yeah, will this work anyways? Well, can I have a hand mic so we can still hear?
This one should,
Can you check, or we can have a stand, or I can have somewhere where I can do something here?
you have it?
Huh?
See, I thought there was no mic.
What? Okay, so, what? Is this, yeah, but I just don't want to hold it. Is there a way we can put it that I don't have to hold it each time?
Does it work? Test.
Testing? Yeah. So can we, so we can't take it from another room of mine?
No, I have to go try to find the correct frequency.
Okay, can you do that?
Yes, I say if I don't find one next class,
Okay.
I'll try to find one.
We always have issues. Okay, great. So one of the things that I'll also show you is we always have issues, right? So what was the issue here? They didn't have the events. If I go to events here, right? This event says 8/20/18, Monday, 5 p.m., right? And we want to close this. I want to do what? What should I do to start my Hangouts on air? What is your name, my dear?
Eden,
Eden. What do you think I need to do?
click it.
Click, press start Hangouts on air. Okay? And this is, you can put this in your notes, this is a way in which we can do Hangouts on air, which will also broadcast. So what's the difference between broadcasting from my phones and broadcasting from my screens? And I'm going to say okay. And it's going to start. And you see right here, it has a link. What is the link? The link here, what does this link mean? Access to the live stream. So what we'll do is we'll post the live stream and we'll archive it. So if you can't come to class, right, you're at another appointment, our idea is to see if, and we're doing an experiment. We may say, you know, this was a waste of time. And people have told me and before, you know, why are you doing this, right? So we'll see whether it's worthwhile. But we have that live stream, right? And now we can have it, what we do. And now what I want to do is we're going to try this live stream, and I'm going to try to share my screen. And we can see if that live stream is working. And then there's another place. Let me see here. Steemit. at the Psycho. Let's see if this is working. Let's see here. And let's see here if that live broadcast will work. Okay, so we're streaming, and I'm going to share my screen as well. Questions? Where's the roll? Is that going around? Where is it? Okay, so let's move it around. Okay, so let's go to Blackboard. Did everybody go to Blackboard? One of the things that I'm going to ask you in this class, a lot of classes say, I don't want to use computers. In this class, it's the opposite. If you're not next to a computer, share with somebody that has a computer. And a lot of times what we'll do is we'll work together finding things on the computer, because we don't all have the answers. So go to Blackboard. I'm going to log in. I'm going to sign in. And it should say fall, right? 2016. And it should say BTE 210J. Does everybody have that? Yes? No? Let me know. Okay. And let's go to course syllabus. And in course syllabus here, you can see we have two of those. You have 1 and 1. Let's try this out on the other one. Open link in new window. Let's try it in a new window, see if it'll work. And open. And let's see if we can open it. So, let me ask you, do you see the screen? Do you see this here?
No.
So why don't we put it so we can see it? I don't know if it would be better up here. So this way we can see this board here, you know what I mean? So we can see what I'm writing. Thanks. So, I'm going to say, do you want, no. Okay. So this is the course syllabus. Let me enable editing and we can go through this. And then you can ask me any questions you want and we can see here what we do. I'm Dr. Sarah Rochanek. I'm a professor of business technology and health informatics. My specialties are new technologies, artificial intelligence, data analytics, doing automated trading systems, what we call fintech, areas where new technology is working. I'm also part of the medical school where I help physicians and others basically use new technologies. So basically, the best way to get in touch with me is via email. And this is my email right here. We'll talk about others. My office hours, we can arrange it by appointment, but you usually can get me after this class. On Mondays are good after this class if you don't have another class. On Wednesdays, I have a class, a health informatics class right after this. So I'm with the students after 9 p.m. And then if you need me a lot of times, we can do it via collaboration a number of different ways. So we can do our office hours here. What else? The book you have is Introduction to Information Systems. What I suggest you do, people were asking me, I suggest you get it the cheapest way you can. Because guess what? Regular books, you think in another couple of years, they get outdated. So get the materials in the books, in my opinion, the least expensive way that you can. We'll be doing this. There's a course description provided about the fundamentals. We'll be talking about a number of different ways that we'll be new technologies. And here's a list of them: hardware, software, networks, databases, information security, mobile, and you'll see here a lot of data, development, prototypes. You'll find a lot of the materials on Blackboard. Here are course policies. These course policies, I think you get them in every class, don't you? In every course syllabus, they give you kind of course policies, so you can go through this. The only difference here is they say that you should ask permission to use technology. I'm saying the opposite. We're going to be using it, so we'll be using it. Grade band. We're going to be doing group projects. We'll be starting pretty early, like today. Okay, so we'll be trying to do some group projects, late assignments, exam reschedule. There's no makeups for exams. If there's some emergency or something for the first exam, you need documentation, like I was in the hospital and all these kind of things that we have. But there won't be any makeups. But if you don't have proper documentations, you'll get a 0. We'll be talking about general behavior. Unless there's a problem here, we don't have it. So this is basically the way that assignments are here. Exam 1, there'll be a midterm, and there'll be a final. But what I'll emphasize a lot are those last parts with you, is the group projects, group assignments, class participation. And sometimes that class participation, we'll see how it works, can work remotely. So for instance, Eden can't come one day, maybe she'll do class participation, and we'll see her face there, right? And she'll be with us, in a number of different ways that we'll see. So we'll try it out. One of the things here is we're going to move and we'll see how things work out. This is a tentative schedule. Week 1, right, getting started, team exercises. Week 2, we'll talk about hardware. Who's ever heard of blockchain? Anyone? What is your name? AJ, what have you heard about blockchain?
It's how you create cryptocurrencies.
Okay, anybody hear about Bitcoin before? Even heard the word? Raise your hand, all right? So the technology behind Bitcoin is blockchain. So we're going to be covering that in this class throughout the semester. We'll have outside speakers possibly on blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Those of you that are really interested in it can make a group, everybody will have a group project, could possibly do a group project in that area. So one of the things that we'll be talking about is we'll be talking about group projects, and our group projects will be somewhat flexible. So we'll be talking about blockchain, group cryptocurrencies, we'll be talking about the cloud. Anybody hear about the cloud? AJ, have you heard about the cloud?
Oh, yeah.
What do you know about the cloud, AJ?
It's a big,
You're on a roll. What?
Big network of information is stored in.
So what's the cloud?
It's like a data information.
So, right, data information. So what's a cloud? Who can help AJ? Yes, what is your name?
Jackie,
Jackie.
a database that holds a bunch of things.
A database that holds a bunch of
No,
things, okay.
it's like a platform or something like that.
Something like
one
that.
area that just holds everything.
Okay, this is wonderful because we'll be more articulate as we go through the semester. Yes.
Online
What is your
storage.
name?
Chad.
Chad.
Online storage.
Online storage. Okay, we're getting there.
Well, usually companies host their own clouds and servers
Okay.
that hold information.
Okay, basically, we're all right, and basically, we all use the cloud, and it's just so inherent in us that we don't even think about it, right? Who's ever used email before? Right? Where is your data stored? Somewhere else in a computer, right? Not on your computer itself, not on your physical computer. Whatever's in this area on your physical computer is called on-premise. You can put that in your notes. Whatever that's called, it's called on-premise. It means that I have hardware. Sometimes it's called like a server. And what we were talking about, data or data files are stored on that server, and everybody was doing that correctly. And how I usually get to my data on the cloud is online via what? Some kind of browser, right? And think about it. When I want to go to my email, where do I go? If I want to go to my Facebook, where do I go? It's all stored, and they call it the cloud. It's not a cloud. They're just computers, but what? Those computers, you can get them via your browser. You know that. There's so many terms that you know, but you just don't know that that's what they talk about, and you just don't know how to articulate it, because it's almost like, how do you walk? Right? It's almost like, how do you open up your phone? How do you swipe? Right? So it's the same type of thing. So you can think about it is we'll talk about that area of cloud solutions, meaning that everybody says, I don't want you to store that software on your machine here, on your computer here, but I want to store it on the cloud. But then we'll talk about backup. We'll talk about the problems with that. Anybody hear about hacking before? Yeah, right, all the time. We'll talk about those areas. And then we'll be talking about mobile and social. And we'll talk about databases, security, the deep dark web. Everything's tentative. Tentatively, I have it, our first exam in October. Because of some religious holidays, we'll have, first of all, we have one of the Mondays in September we have off because of what? Labor Day. We have a Jewish holiday from a Monday and Wednesday, so we'll have a couple of weeks that will be shortened weeks. But other than that, this is tentative. We'll always do a review before the exam, so there won't be surprises. But put this as tentative way that I've put things. We'll do artificial intelligence. We'll do some fintech. We'll do along the way fintech, automated trading systems, application development. We'll talk about SEO. What's SEO? Anybody know? SEO. Anyone? Let's search it. We're sitting there like I'm doing the show. It's so easy to fall asleep, isn't it? Or do something. So what do we find in SEO? Yeah, AJ.
Search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization. So what does that mean and who cares? One of the questions I'll always ask you, besides you finding the definition, right, by Googling it or something, is what? Who cares? Why do we care in terms of business? Because in business, what's the two most important things? Is how do I increase my revenues and how do I decrease my costs? So I'll get what? A higher profit. So if the technology isn't helping me get closer to my customer, get a better user experience, right? Increase my revenues, decrease my costs, maybe we don't need to waste our time. And that's why I'm thinking about some of this technology using in education. It's the same way. It may be we only have limited seats here. So maybe in disrupting education for blockchain, AJ, is we do what we call an ICO. Anybody ever hear of an ICO? What's an ICO? Initial coin offering. We can do together maybe initial coin offering for education and give everybody tokens to help out in terms of education, broadcast, and maybe people around the world maybe want to get us come into the class, see what it's like, and after a while maybe get a certificate or get credit. And maybe in terms of those people that will help other people around the world will get tokens too. So if we have Brad or AJ or anyone helping out, maybe you'll get tokens to help in terms of helping other students. These are ideas that we'll explore. And what else? And then there'll be group presentations the final weeks. And then we'll do, there'll be exam and review for that. And then the final exam, you check when it's set in the published date. I don't determine that, you determine that. Okay, the university determines that. So everybody can check later on, when is the published date for this section of J. Okay? What else? Where's the roll? Okay, everybody sign in? Did we number it? So sign in. Okay, you can flip it over and we can see. Okay? So, let me show you something else. So, if I give an assignment and you have issues with some of those assignments, what the problem is a lot of times we want to, what we call, and you can put this as a note here, screencast or screencasting. Screencasting software. So I'm going to say right here, this is one called MSN Recorder. I'm going to try. And we'll try with the screencasting software. You see the screencasting software that I wanted to use. You see this where it says record? I can press record. I can record the full screen or a selected window, and I can record it to a file. And this file says MPG. Anybody know what MPG is? .mpg? And what do you think I'm going to tell you to do? Guess what? Next week, next month, next year, do you think technology is going to change? One of the things you take a history class, right? It's not going to change much of ancient history, but we're going to need to work it. So who found what .mpg file format means? Yes, your name?
Chris.
Chris.
It's a common video file and uses a digital video format standardization by the Moving Picture Experts Group.
Right. So it's basically a standard Have you ever heard of MPEG files?
Yeah.
So this is just an MPEG file. It tells me where it is, and when I say record, right, please select your, I want to do full screen, right? I want to record, right? And I can record then that screen, and I can put it away that it doesn't take so much room of what I'm doing. So I can record that screen, and then I can stop it as well. So if I stop that screen, what does it come back and say? What does it say up here? What's it say? Upload to YouTube. So just like I was talking about this broadcasting what? From my phone, I can broadcast my screen up to my channel. It asks for a username, a password, my file location. In this case, I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to upload it, and I want to close it. And now if I play it, we'll see if it will play. So what is it? So what is this doing? It's recording exactly what I did. So what's the advantage to that? If you're out and working on some new software, if you then record it, you can do what? If you figured it out, you can share it with other people. And if not, if you're having issues, you can then send it to somebody and say, hey, I'm having to the class, hey, I'm having issues here. I don't know what to do. Okay, and then I can play it again. So, these were, I can play again or I can stop. So these are ways. What I don't like is I want this to continually go up to YouTube. I don't want to be setting this up each time. And what it would be good, what I'm thinking about, is having clips of material and then attaching practice quizzes to it. So if I've got a clip of myself teaching, then have possible questions that deal with that clip. So instead of listening to, you skip class and or you fell asleep in class, it's so easy, isn't it? I mean, you're sitting there, I could sleep too, you know. Sometimes, you know, when I go like this, if you see me nodding off, but it's easy. But one of the things that you want to do is you can say, hey, where am I having problems? Let me take the quiz, and those questions that I got wrong, let me just see clips about, rather than listening to another 40 hours again. So I'm thinking about new ways to employ education, disrupt education, and what I want you to do is think about what things that you're learning or want to be able to do and ways in which you can disrupt it as well. So whether it's marketing, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's legal, everything's going to be disrupted. And anybody hear about robots? And do your parents say they're worried that robots will take away all those jobs and then you won't have jobs and they're spending so much money at the University of Miami and we waste, is that college experience really worth it, right? So the idea is, I think those robots are going to take away many jobs. I hate to tell you. But the exciting thing is, basically you can think about it as autonomous driving. Did you hear about that? That later on, for truck drivers, there's now a lack of truck drivers. What are they going to do? Autonomous trucks? But who's going to write the rules? That's what I want you guys to do. Basically in those things, and that's what we'll do with trading as well, as we'll try to write the rules. Okay, so this is what I want for the last part of the class. I've given you an introduction for this, and what I want you to do for next time is to try to find what we call screencasting programs. Screencasting software, screencasting programs. And try to find one and try to use it. And when you're going to use it, you say, well, I want to get your voice in there, I want to get your screen there, and you can evaluate the screencasting software. And do it for about a minute or 2 minutes. That's all. And we'll start doing it. And who was doing like TeamViewer, right? When you were telling me about that you were using TeamViewer. TeamViewer can also be as a possibility, or other ones in which we can basically record and others can see. And also what would be good is if it can be uploaded automatically, something like to YouTube or other areas that we can do. So, let me go back to my courses.
We saw this last night.
So this is my course syllabus. You'll see under assignments, click assignments. Do you see anything?
No.
Okay. You don't see anything, I see something. So what does that mean? Everybody understand the question? What is your name, my dear?
Kelsey,
Kelsey, what's the question?
since we can't see it and you can, means it's not assigned yet?
Right, and what's the difference? Why can you not see it, Kelsey, and I can see it? Now you can see it because you're seeing my computer.
You're an admin?
What?
You're the admin page?
I'm the admin. I have different roles. So when we talk about security, they're different roles. And different roles there's like a user role and a admin role. So one of the things here is on the admin role, so bear with me here, it says availability item is hidden from students. So if I click down here, Kelsey, you're on a roll. So tell me, what do you think I need to make this available? What should I do?
Make available?
Make available, look at that. Okay, so in this case it says make available. And how can we check that this works? And this is something that we're going to learn how to do every single class. When I make a change, what is your responsibility then, Kelsey?
To go check it.
To actually check it, because what happens is I'm doing something, I forget to click it, and what happens is then we all go away, and then it's like 2 days later, well, it wasn't up there. So your idea here is always to check for assignments to see what assignments are here. This assignment here is online quizzes for the chapters. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that online quiz here. Let me just do this for a second. It's available to you, and I want to say edit the test options. And you see here, it says quiz. And if I go down, it says at this point, it said, what does it say, Kelsey? Multiple attempts. Can you read that? And it says number 2. So the first time I give a quiz, I'll give you 2 times to take the quiz. Because basically for the quiz is that you understand the topics. And I do not want to waste your time and my time. So if things are simple for all of us, why bother wasting our precious time together? I basically see is that you basically, when you think about user experience and customer, I basically see that you basically are coming here to gain the most out of it. And if we're wasting time that everybody knows something, why waste it? So I want you to take the quizzes before we go over the material. And then, Kelsey, when there's something that you don't understand, you to raise your hand or some way connect and say, this is what I don't understand. Sometimes we don't even understand what we don't understand, right? So this helps us. So those questions or those topics that you don't understand, we'll do it. I'm also allowing the quizzes to be open-ended, meaning open book, open notes, open internet. Because the whole idea is that we all are on the same vocabulary and we all understand the same concepts. After we have all the same concepts, what I want to do is spend time on the projects. The exams will be 2 parts. Nobody asked me about the exams. The exam will be 2 parts. One part will be like the quizzes, following the book on the topics. And the other part, the open-ended, will be more of the other topics that we cover in class. Like the new topics. Like AJ was talking about blockchain. We'll cover blockchain in the readings, and it'll be about applying blockchain. I'll be telling you ahead of time what types of open-ended questions there'll be in what topic areas. So there won't be surprises in that. Everybody understand? But it'll be on 2 parts. I want on the reading, basically what I say is that everybody's on the same page and can articulate, for instance, what's the difference between cloud and on-premise, right? Or what is the definitions of a server and a client? But later on, we'll be spending time with projects. So everybody signed in? So this is the area. Who's not signed in? We forgot. See, we have to pass it. So the last person, please bring it up. So this says here, so what should I do? And in this case, I'm going to leave it open. I'm not going to close the quiz because we're having adds and drops. You know, and it's too much to start opening. Oh, it closed. But you can think about it. Every week we'll have at least 1 quiz. And every week, we'll probably do it on a Monday because then you'll have time to do it because we meet on Monday and Wednesdays. And usually we'll see how we work it, and now I'll submit. So, Kelsey, what should you look for now?
Quiz 1.
Quiz 1, then you have it, and then basically how many times can you take it? You can take it twice. So you can see here, we have the quiz 1, we have the documents that you used. And then you see here on web links, here's the web link to the book, and here even is a comparison of screencasting software. So we'll look at that as well. You can look at that as well that you can see. Okay, questions? Does So everybody understand the drill that we'll do? Okay, so the next part, what I want you to do is I've introduced myself, and you'll get to know me more and more as we go along. My undergraduate also was at Tel Aviv University. I graduated from Tel Aviv University, and then I went on to get my PhD at the University of Texas at Austin, and I've taught at a number of different places, including UCLA and USC, and a number of places in London as well. So what I want from you is four things. One is to tell me your name, where you're from, your major, and what type of work and computing experience you have. And where's the roll? Is that going around? So let's start here. You want to introduce yourself, and then we'll move on till we get this. Everybody gets to see who we have in the class. Yes.
My name is Vanessa. I'm from Los Angeles. My
Okay.
major is business law,
Uh-huh.
and I don't have any experience.
Okay. Yes.
My name is Eden. I'm from Chicago. My major is undecided, and I also don't have very much experience.
Okay. Next.
My name's Claudine. I'm from South Africa. My major is business management, and I worked a year ago for a technology company that specializes in taking old telephone lines and working with internet service. Also, they do trackers, GPS.
And then this was in South Africa?
No, I did that here in Miami.
In Miami,
Yeah.
okay. And where are you from in South Africa?
Cape Town.
Cape Town. I hear it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
I'm Kelsey, I'm from Washington DC, I'm a marketing major, and I don't have a lot of experience.
Okay. And we'll see, and what is your major?
Business management.
Business manager. You'll see the technology, marketing is going to be big in a number of different ways. Think about all of social media now. The whole idea of marketing is completely different now, right? Digital transformation, marketing is and using data analytics. Yes.
I'm Jamie. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm business undeclared, and I don't have it.
Okay.
My name is Consuelo. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, and I'm majoring in legal studies. And I took a computer graphic arts class in high school, so I kind of know how to use like Photoshop and Illustrator.
Okay.
That's really it.
Great.
I'm Vanessa. I'm a marketing major. I'm from here in Miami, and I don't have experience in
Okay. What's your major?
marketing.
Marketing again. Yes.
I'm Greta. I'm from Cooper here. And my major is finance and management. And no experience in computer.
Okay. So you'll get it. Hopefully. All right. Next.
I'm Emmanuel. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm a business management and marketing major, and I have limited experience in the field of like technology and whatever.
Okay. Yes.
My name is Emily. I'm from Sweden, and my major is accounting and finance, and I don't know what.
Okay.
My name's AJ. I'm from Orlando. Finance and accounting double major, and I work with like SQL, Java, what's the Dynamics AX,
Mhm.
and Access.
Okay, so accounting software. Okay, so AJ, you'll be one of basically our leaders in terms of some of the software. You've had experience in programming. Have you had experience in programming? Are you finance too? So when we start dealing with some fintech, maybe in terms of automating trading systems, we'll look at some programming as well. Good. And are you work study, AJ? Excuse me. Are you work study?
I do have a work study, but I'm not doing it.
Okay, so let's talk afterwards. Yes. Next.
I'm Dylan. I'm from Washington D.C. majoring in finance.
Okay, did you know the other DC? Did you grow up in DC or Maryland or Virginia?
I grew up in D.C.
DC itself, okay.
Yes.
Okay, and where did you grow up?
I grew up outside of DC in Virginia.
In Virginia, okay.
And I have no experience.
No experience. And your major?
Finance.
Finance.
I'm Noah. I'm from Boston. I'm majoring in finance, and I have no experience.
Okay, a lot of finance here, huh? Finance marketing seems to be kind of the wave, right? The trends. We can do data analytics on that. Okay,
I'm Leah. I'm from New York, and I'm majoring in business law.
business law, okay.
My name's Renee. I'm from New Jersey. I'm majoring in accounting.
Accounting.
My name's Madeline. I'm majoring in marketing. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I have little to no
Okay, little no experience. So anything that I teach you, you say, well, 100% gain in investment, okay. Good.
I'm Michael, I'm from Boca, and I'm majoring in business law.
Okay, business law too. Okay. From the background.
I'm from Miami and I'm majoring in entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. And you have any ideas on what you want to do for entrepreneurship? Or it sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, good.
I'm Chris, I'm from Miami and I'm majoring in business law.
Business law. Okay.
I'm Andres, I'm from Miami and I'm majoring in entrepreneurship and I don't have any experience.
Okay.
I'm Jackie, I'm from North Miami Beach. I'm majoring in BTE.
Oh, good.
And I have a couple work experiences in technology field.
Okay, good. So we'll get together with you and AJ. We'll be
AJ
a
can
kind of
take over.
right. So at least we can start trying to be competent. Yes.
I'm Shana, I'm from North Miami Beach, and I work with Google AdWords.
Okay, Google AdWords. So that's great. So basically, in terms of, that'd be nice in terms of even a presentation to talk about the idea of search engine optimization, right? In terms about marketing, how are you going to market? If I'm going to be an entrepreneur, how am I going to do it? How I'm going to be my own brand, right? Wonderful. Yes.
I'm Aaron, I'm from New Jersey and I'm a finance major.
Finance,
I'm Rob, I'm from Pittsburgh and I'm a real estate major.
real estate. Okay.
I'm Maddie, I'm from Philadelphia, and I'm a marketing major.
I'm Cammie, I'm from New Jersey, I'm an accounting major.
I'm Sam, I'm from Jersey and I'm a finance major.
I'm Zach, I'm from New Jersey and I'm a business analytics major.
Okay, so that could be great. So for business analytics, think about really business technology. In my opinion, business technology should be with data analytics together, right? As a major in terms of looking at everything here. In terms of marketing, we're going to look at data analytics. Have you taken any courses yet in that?
Just the US 150.
Okay, so we'll have you kind of be the lead in terms of looking at data analytics. Wonderful. And you can have and then you can lead other students. Yes.
I'm Lawrence, I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Oh, really? I lived in Silver Spring for a while. Yeah, University of Maryland. I forgot to say I taught there too. Okay. And what's your major?
Finance.
Finance. Okay.
I'm Luke, I'm from Ocean City, Maryland.
I used to go. My cousin used to have a place in Ocean City. Right? It was nice, huh? Hometown week, right?
I'm marketing major and I'm a
Okay.
I'm Alec, I'm from New York, my major is finance.
Okay.
I'm Will, I'm from Atlanta, I'm a finance major.
Wow. So the finance guys sit together. It looks like here. Okay. Good.
I'm Spencer, I'm from Chase, Maryland, and I'm a marketing major.
Okay. So.
I'm Dan, I'm from New Jersey and I'm a finance major.
Okay, Jersey, New York, like that whole area, right? They grabbed them and brought them over here with a little Sweden and South Africa along the way. Yes.
Evan, I'm an econ major, I'm from Philly, and
Oh, Philly too,
I
right?
didn't have much experience, but I actually went to Daphne for a little bit, so
Right. Okay, good. Well, they're a good school. What did you do there?
engineering.
Engineering, great. They've done quite well. That whole Israeli technology has done well. My brother-in-law, basically, just his company did autonomous vehicles. And when he came to me, you always can rest assured that professors can give good advice. So he came to me and he said, first he said he was going to be on the head, he developed the fastest chip in the world. But he didn't get to be CEO of Motorola. So they basically said, hey, you're fired. So you say, oh, woe is me. And then he said, well, there's a little startup that's going to start. They want me to design the chips for this. And then it was called Mobileye. And then I said, should I do it? And I said, okay. And then as they progressed, a small little company, 2 professors and 1 engineer, and as they progressed, they finally said somebody wants to buy them for $1 billion. And I said, take the money and run, right? And they said, no, Goldman Sachs, they think we can get more. And I said, they're crazy, right? They just sold it not long ago to, anybody hear that company, Intel, for $16 billion. And I said, wow, what did I know? So anyway, so when you tell me about your company, I'll always underestimate it. That's what we can learn from that story. Okay, so we got this idea, we can see it. Now what we need to do. So basically what I want you to think about are ways in which we'll look at software. There's a lot of finance majors here. What we'll look at is some automated trading systems and writing rules to automated trading systems. We'll be looking at ways to collaborate. We'll be looking at ways to broadcast. And we'll be looking at ways to start thinking about a project that will be disruptive. And so when you think, hey, I'm a marketing major, what can I do? Well, you think about it in ways, for instance, there's so many ways. What company doesn't need marketing now in digital processing? We'll talk about even something like blockchain, and basically a lot of these areas now, even marketing. What is blockchain? Blockchain is a way in which to eliminate a lot of the intermediaries to do approval systems. Banking, finance, marketing, and it's going to be ways in which we'll look at it in terms of blockchain is just one technology, but there are many technologies that we'll look at to disrupt. So you can think about it is get the book online any way you want. And you know, as what I said, the cheapest way is the best way. And you'll see that I'm cheap. Anything that I can get free or lower cost, it's a better way. If you're interested, if you have work study or you're interested in working with me and helping me in terms of just setting up the technologies, helping other students, stay with me after class. I'm going to end the class early just so I can, this will be the first class that you can do it. And what I suggest you do is we'll do, where's the roll? Can you pass it to me before we're not leaving yet? Hold on. What do we have here? We have so you can think about it already. We'll have like groups about 3 people to a group. So already what I suggest you do is get on Wednesday, we'll do more formalization on it, but get together with at least 3 people to a group. I'd say 3 people because if you get more, it's hard. And then you can even think about, remember the screencasting software that I talked about? Each of you can find a different one. And then later on, another thing that you may want to look at, we'll talk about it more on Wednesday, is looking at collaboration programs. Just like I said, bringing other people in, things like TeamViewer or Google Hangouts on there, where you can collaborate with people all over the world. So first, let's look at screencasting and see what we come up with for Wednesday. And just do a little clip, like a 1 to 2 minute clip. Save it, and then I'll show you on Wednesday where we're going to upload it and how we're going to do everything else. But we'll set that up. Stay with me if you have extra questions or you want to find out some more information, and if you're interested. And then you can help me here in terms of I'll show you how to close everything and turn it off. Okay? Thank you. Did you shut that?
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
So you guys will be in